Welcome back to Sampstra Games, the place to find new strategy games. And today we're gonna play Nightmare Frontier. Now this is a game in early access and it's a game from the makers of Hard West 2. And it's amazing. It's a turn-based combat game with a very high focus on fear. And it's just so cool. And it has the same feature as Hard West 2, where basically if you kill an enemy, you get to reactivate your actions, so you can like do these insane chains of like killing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemies in a row. It's just so much fun. So let's go on a challenging difficulty and let us start. And there's some roguelike elements with like the pathing and etc. And it's really interesting. We're gonna skip the tutorial because we don't need it. So we have two characters. So we have Cyrus McGraw and Hank Keen. And here we have our enemy. Now up here, this is a nightmare meter. And every time it goes to one of these points, something happens. Typically, this will place a new enemy. What type of enemy we get depends on our character. So for example, Hank Keen has a fear of spiders. So if this gets to that point, we will most likely get a gun spider, which is a type of an enemy. Or this guy's afraid of horses, so we might get a different monster. Sometimes you can get something that instead of it spawning a new enemy, when you kill an enemy, it spawns a shard which blows up, which sounds great, but it's really bad because the way movement works in this game is that you can only move once at the start or at the end, and when you kill an enemy, you do not reactivate your movement. So basically, if I get there and even if I kill them successfully, I won't be able to like, get away if they turn to a shard. Now we have a handgun shot. You can shoot, like the attack is ranged obviously, but you can also shoot in melee like this. I can still use my gun, so it's not like that if you're in melee you can't shoot anymore. You can activate it even like this. Or you have Shatterhand. This is way better. What this does is it hits the enemy and pushes them one tile back, and you move in the spot where they are. If you hit them into an obstacle, you do one more damage. So like this 2, but if there was another behind them, I could do 3. So I could hit this guy this way, and then I could use the Hank Keen to finish him off, and Hank Keen would get another attack. But I'd probably prefer Cyrus to get another attack. So what I can do is I can move. I have a couple options. With Hank Keen, we have a shotgun blast, which allows you to do a multi-attack. So I could move here and do a multi-attack, but what I'm actually going to do instead is I'm going to push the first raid into the second raid. Like this. Then I'm going to use Cyrus to kill... Ooh. Oh, right. Okay. That didn't actually work out. Well, okay. So what I could do is just use my gun to kill this raid. But then I have no way to kill this other raid because, again, I cannot move anymore. But if I use my Shatterhand, I can get moved up here, and then I can push this guy into an obstacle. So you can see how important the movement is in a game like this. And here we've got some loot, so we've got Pile of Junk. This is very important because you can use it to upgrade stuff. The city didn't roll out a welcome mat, just smoke, silence, and that slow crawling dread that sticks to your bones. You came in with scraps of intel and the word of some silver-tongued snake who swore the runes were fat with loot. And us? You didn't ask what kind of nightmares were waiting to chew us up. That's where we're supposed to find the fixer, a guy who rode out the cataclysm and figured out how to turn it into a pocket change. He was meant to hand us a map of the city and walk us into the depths of the nightmare. Alright, so this is a sort of roguelike type of a map. So you can see like what happens here. We've got the monolith. We gain 1 HP at the start of each turn for our army. Very cool. We don't actually need it because we didn't lose any HP. By the way, if you don't know where I made videos for Hard West 2 about how to do different levels without taking like any damage. We're not gonna do that for this game, but yeah. But it's just with the killing enemies, just such a fun that you can do that sometimes. Now here you can click left alt, which I think is really cool, and you can immediately see what the rewards are for the entire like level. So we could get pocket knife, Mustang boots, and dynamite. Dynamites just allow you to throw somewhere, blow things up. standard dynamite. Mustang boots increase your speed, but pocket knife. Pocket knife is the way to go. The basic level of pocket knives gives you 1 free stab action, which is amazing because now you can kill enemies with 3 HP at once with a single character. You don't need help from anybody else. And upgraded pocket knives gives you so much cool stuff. Specifically, it gives you an ability to make you a backstabber, which means that if someone gets pushed into you, you don't take damage. So if Hankin was standing here and Cyrus pushed the enemy into it, it would do 2 damage to the enemy, but it would basically harm Hankin. So what you can do is make sure that that doesn't happen. Now let me see. If I were to do... Can I do a box attack this way? No, I cannot do it like this. Trying to figure... I should have placed Cyrus 1 hex to the left, but it's a little too late for that. So... Okay, but we can fix it. We're gonna push this raid forward. Oh, we still can't do it. Okay, well, at least I can show you a different feature that I'm not quite... I don't know if you're supposed to use this feature, but they do have it. And they allow you to do it to the beginning of the turn, so you can just undo like this. Oh, it actually you can... Oh, you can undo after deployment. That's wild. Okay, so let's do that. Just like... Let's just... This is just so I can show you the feature, guys, okay? I don't know how... I feel a bit weird about this feature. We're playing on challenging, which is like the normal difficulty. It seems a little, I don't know, feels a little cheaty to me. Like, you don't typically get this in games, so I don't know how I feel about that. We're gonna just shoot this guy so that Cyrus can finish him off. And then Cyrus will use his attack and get overcoming and then finish on this raid because we're pushing into her. And you can see we can do this in a single turn like this. But it depends like what you get spawned and etc. And this is this game does seem to have like roguelike like procedural spawning of enemies. So it's not like a pre-made level like you have in Hard West 2 where the levels were kind of like the same, but you like went to that place and you got it. Right. Next you've got a new survivor, so let's see what happens here. Actually, this level, maybe they're not all procedural generated. I think this level might always be like this. Yeah, I think this level might always be like this. So I don't know about the procedural generation, but I think there are definitely like some levels that like what we have with the 2 enemies previously, that was not what I had in my test game. So maybe some levels are procedurally generated, or maybe there's just a random pool of levels that you pick from, and then there are like important levels that are fixed. I don't know how that works. Anyway, we've got a new enemy, Wendigo. Wendigo does a melee attack. It can lick wounds, which means that it can perform a wide swing that can target up to 3 opponents as this regular attack, the Rend, and if not attacking, it heals up to 3 HP. Later on, you can have you can gain an ability where if you shoot a Wendigo or any enemy, you can lower their melee damage by 1, which makes Wendigo pretty useless, which is amazing. But for now, what we have is this rifle shot. And the rifle shot allows you to do 3 damage, which basically allows me to nearly kill an enemy, but we're still going to need 1 more attack. Seems amazing, right? So we should always make sure that Roy here finishes an attack well. The rifle shot has a cooldown, so even if Roy finishes up and kills an enemy and gains that bonus where he can attack again, he will not be able to use the rifle shot twice. So what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna attack... Wait, who has the pocket knife? Oh, I didn't give it to anybody, and I should have. Never mind. Okay, well, can I do it now? Ooh, I can do it in combat. That's fancy. We should give it to a handgun person. No, I can't. Okay, I was wondering, like that'd be wild to do it in combat. You can't. Never mind. Okay. So I still think we might let Roy finish the attack because he can move better. So I'm gonna start with Hank. Well, not better, but he's in better position in general. And I'm gonna hit this Vendigo and push it backwards. And then we're gonna use Cyrus. And Cyrus is going to shoot at this Vendigo in the front. And then Roy is gonna kill this Vendigo. And then he's gonna step over here and kill this Vendigo and we're done. Again, without taking any damage. And now we gotta equip the the pocket knife. Just making it harder on myself for no reason at all. Now, who do you want to give the pocket knife is the question, because that's the person that's most likely going to do the most bad damage. I think I'm going to give it to Cyrus, who has the handgun. Another option is to give it to Roy. The problem is Roy just doesn't have that much HP compared to the others. So the people that you want to have in the melee might be the best to be the ones who have more HP. Especially because we haven't actually encountered any gun spiders yet. But the gun spiders, they do a ranged attack. And so they like to pick on the weakest. So they like to kill the one who has the lowest HP. And that can be a lot of problem, especially because if you have 2 or 3 of them, then basically Roy gets killed on enemy turn 1. So that's important to keep in mind. Poor man. We dragged out of that alley, looked like... when you can't come up with English curses. Poor foolhardy. We dragged out of that alley, looked like a man who get big and lost ugly, shaking, stinking, holding on to nothing but nerves and fumes. The last of his strength, he traced a route to his camp on the edge of the city, swore the nightmare hadn't touched it so that we would be safe. Then like the perfect spot to dig in and set up our base. When we finally rolled up, it turned out to be nothing but ruins. The only thing worth a damn was a map. It showed the city or what's left of it, a sprawl swallowed by the goddamn nightmare. Well, we had to start somewhere, so we're gonna start a base, and we're gonna have our 3 people there. Let's go. We also got the rifle, which I'm not sure if it's auto-equipped on this person. I'm gonna call him Rudy after one of my patrons. So we're gonna have to check on that. Situation didn't look good. The city was torn to hell by the cataclysm none of us rightly understand. Some called it God's wrath, others blamed savage witchery. Either way, it cracked something open, let a loose force that fed on fear and hauled nightmares into the daylight. We didn't come looking for meaning, we came for loot. With our greedy eyes set on the docks, word was ships full of loot just sat there, fat and ripe, waiting on some desperate to snatch it. Getting there? Damn near impossible. The damnable nightmare was thick as molasses, twisting the world like a preacher's fear dream, crawling with the whole damn army of hell's own bastards. Foolhards. Had to learn how this nightmare ticked, get our hands on gear that wouldn't fail us. The fixer we saved set us up with a half-mad tinker who had been stuck in the city since the nightmare hit. Looked not stocked worse, but said he could rig our gear with a scrap. Probably nonsense, but we were desperate. Even rust was worth the risk if it gave us an edge. Alright, so here we go to equipment. Yeah, we have to equip the gun. So we have a pile of junk which you need to salvage, and then you can use it to upgrade something. Now the game wants you to upgrade. Okay, so we can gain something. We can gain Mustang boots, survival backpack, or dynamite. We're gonna get the boots, and the boots is what the game wants you to update. The boots, the backpack, or the dynamite. It would be a way better idea to upgrade the knife, because the knife. Let me show you. Oh. Okay, never mind. I thought, yeah, okay. So you click first F to show you the upgrade screen, then you have to click again to actually upgrade it. So you didn't auto-upgrade it right now. So here, this is telling us that we could get this backstabber ability. Now, what's important is this ability remains on the entirety of your character, even without using this specific tool. Which in the backstabber is kind of irrelevant, because it just means that if an enemy is pushed into you, you don't get damage. But there are some abilities, for example, like the ability to hit an enemy if they're still in range. And that will apply for like different types of weapons. So it's very important to know that this ability seems to be on the character, not on the character for anything the character uses, basically. Okay? But of course, if you take the book and give it to somebody else, it's not going to stay on them. But yeah. And now the game wants us to update the Mustang boots, which allows us to increase speed. Are we gonna behave and be good people and do what the game tells us, or are we gonna be rebels and just do the thing that we know is better? I'm gonna do the thing that I know is better. We can get we'll upgrade the Mustang boots later. We'll do one more like thing. Now at the moment we can only go to the slums, which is has like the lowest stakes, but eventually we're gonna unlock different districts, and as we know we want to get to the docks. So here you can see our characters, and here you can see the fear incarnate. So up here is sort of like the nightmare pressure of the whole like journey. And you can see that like if we get to level 1, we attract a gun spider, here we attract Wendigo, level 2 we attract a unicorn. Unicorns can do like a attack that attacks 2 enemies in a line, so they can do a bigger damage because they're sort of pushing you into each other, and they can hit 2 people in a row. And then Frenzy, max HP. Also within the game, within the like map, as we're gonna get into, if this gets too high, you might also get like, when you kill an enemy, you get the shards and etc. So let me see what we have. We could get Dynamite, Smoke Bomb, or Mustang Boots. So the Mustang Boots are the best. The problem is we then immediately have another fight after. So I actually think we're gonna go to get... I guess we'll get a Dynamite. It's better than a Smoke Bomb. Because even though the Mustang Boots would be fun, it's not... Oh, actually I might be wrong about the procedural generated level. I honestly don't know, guys. Well... So this sounds kind of interesting. This is a gun spider, and this is the thing that does 3 damage. So I'm actually gonna put Rudy here, because Rudy can insta-kill the gun spider. I don't know if I'll have enough movement to get here and help on this side. I do kind of need him for the... Actually, okay. A different idea. Who has the pocket knife? Cyrus. Cyrus with the pocket knife could kill this guy on his own. But then he can... No, Cyrus needs to be here. Because he needs to be, like, pushing people into himself and etc. Problem is, Hank can kill the gun spider on his own, so we're gonna do it like this. We'll play Roy there, and we're gonna play Hank here, and we're gonna hope for the best. We're not gonna do this one without taking any damage. Almost certainly. Now, Cinderite can give you Nightmare Essence, which you can either keep, or you can try to upgrade, like, get some kind of a bonus for a unit. So let me just insta-kill this gun spider. We get Overcoming. And we're gonna move here, and we could push the Wendigo instead of the gun spider in the back. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. Now, Hank, if he was standing here, could hit all of them. Well, the gun spider and the Wendigo. But before I do that, I do wonder something. If I place Cyrus here, now, because hitting this Wendigo will not push the gun spider back. Like, if I do this, it's not gonna kill it. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to Hank Keen, and we're gonna do the attack like this. Then we'll let Cyrus push the Wendigo and kill the first thing. Okay. We're gonna... Okay, we can do this without taking any damage. Okay. And we can just finish this off. We didn't even need to use the knife, guys. Alright. We get ourselves a Dynamite. Which is, doesn't have a push, but it does 1 range damage, which is nice. Alright, what is this? Ooh, Burning Shimmer. It burns going in and worse coming out, but what walks out is something fierce, quicker, meaner. Lit from within like a fuse about to blow. +1 range damage on everybody? Hell yeah. That is amazing. That is very good. No, this one's not the same as what I had. I'm gonna stop telling you because you don't care. Okay. So this is really interesting. We can only put 2 people in because we have the original survivor. What is very interesting is that one of your people die, you can put the 3rd one in, which I find really fun. I definitely need Rudy to be in because Rudy does the 3 hit damage, which is the best. So I'm gonna actually take Hank away and put Rudy instead. Now the question is where we want to have our people. So Rudy, probably here, because Rudy, no, not here. Because if you think about this, we need Cyrus to use his knife. So Cyrus needs to be somewhere here helping out with Wesley. And then Roy should ideally just... Okay, so let's just grab you. You're gonna go down here. And we're gonna put Roy there. And Roy will probably... Can Roy shoot the gun spider? Yes, but then Roy can only do 2 damage at the Wendigos. I think that's fine. But yeah, you can see, even though we've got the overcoming, we can't use this again. Ooh, interesting. I could go behind. And then Cyrus could be... Okay, okay. So we got the backstabber. So now, all I'm gonna do is press Cyrus here. And then Roy is gonna push the Wendigo straight into Cyrus, who does additional damage. Wesley... Cyrus can't move anymore, that's the only problem. Actually, I probably wasn't the best idea because Cyrus can't move anymore. I can kill this guy with a knife, but... Okay, but I can do 2 damage because of my range attack, so I can shoot this Wendigo. And then Wesley should be able to finish this guy because we get the range attack bonus. We can shoot the Wendigo or we can push it into this thing. I'm gonna shoot it just because if I push it I get it closer to Roy and I would rather it attack anybody but Roy. And I also don't want it to push me into a fire, so we're just gonna stand here. Okay, well, we'll end our turn. Oh, we can hit them both, right? Okay. It's a 3 range thing, so we can hit them both. Oh well. You can also finish the combat by getting the survivor into the exit point, but I always do it by killing them all. It's probably not the, the most effective way, but why not? It's fun. It's fun. I like to do it. Alright, my new guy. My new guy has a handgun, and we're gonna give him dynamite. And that's it. You can also get a character that can do like has like an extra melee weapon, or you can get something to wear which allows them to have both melee and orange weapon, which is really cool. Now at this point our options are -4 nightmare pressure, party +1 HP, which would be good for the new guy and Cyrus. No, and Hank. Ooh, party +1 melee damage though. Ooh, and we could go up here. No, we need to go to the base. So this is going back to the base. This is about closing a portal. Actually, let's. Are we gonna need the heals though? Are we gonna be brave? If we don't do so, well, we'll just go to the base instead of going to the special place. But I do think that we should have the +1 damage, I think, for a few more turns, but it doesn't say so here, so I'm not like 100%. We can have 3 people, and we definitely need our shooter who can kill the gun spider. We definitely need Hank. No, we need Cyrus or Hank? I keep forgetting. Cyrus. Cyrus is a good guy. Hank is rubbish. Okay. Do we want Hank or do we want Wesley? We want Hank because Hank's got more HP. So let's just do it like this. We're all standing in a row. Now, Hank here could do this kind of a multi-attack, and because it has +1 damage, is actually really useful. So let's do that. At this point, Cyrus could just use his knife to finish off this gun spider. Then we'll go over here and we'll use our melee on the first Wendigo. And then another melee on the second Wendigo. And then we'll grab Roy to just finish off the gun spider. This is why I love this game. This game actually feels so good. This game is so good because then you open a war game and you're like, I'm dead. Well, some war games. Some war games I'm good at, but some war games. Oh, but this is, I want this so, okay. This is, so these breaches are great because they give you insanely good weapons. But then it's another survivor. It's gonna be hard to get away, but because we have 4 characters, if somebody dies, we can just put in the other one. So we're gonna be crazy and we're gonna go for it. Alright, so we need, as always, we need our shooter here. We need Cyrus also there, and we're gonna need Hank. Another thing is, if you're adjacent to an enemy, you only have one movement, so I'm actually gonna put Hank here. Just in case I want... Oh, actually, oh, he can't quite get there. I should have put him... Actually, I'm not sure that he would have gotten there regardless. This would be the time to redo it and put Hank here, because then Hank could run there. Because Hank is the one that's most useless of our people, and the one who should be closing the breach, because the breach will continue to give you new people. Do we want to do that, or we can? Okay, let's just kill this gun. So let's do different. Let's kill. I'm not gonna. I feel weird about that feature. Like, I know that like it's meant for you to do it like that. For me, it's kind of like. Okay, actually, this was a bad move. We should have used it first. If I go that way, should I be able to use it now? Okay, I'll hit the Vendigo at least somewhat. We need to move Hank over there. Okay. Cyrus should be able to go there. Ooh, I could push the Wendigo into Cyrus. Let's do that. That seems better. Yeah, push the Wendigo in Cyrus. Then we'll use the knife to hit this gun spider. Can I shoot? And oh, I can finish off the Wendigo. Punch the gun spider. But we're still gonna have a problem with being able to get there. Well, never mind. We did use the redo thing once, but no, ouch. Okay. I thought that I didn't realize that they're immediately like capable of just like attacking. I thought it would take them a turn, but oh, no, I have to move in such a way that I'm pushing you onto. Actually, we don't even need to push in because we just get +1 melee. Okay, Hank is gonna get here and he's gonna seal the breach. Right? And we're gonna get ourselves some good weapon. What is this? Deal Rapid Fire 3. Shoots targets in the designated area blocked by the obstacles. Reduces target's armor by 1. Affects only Dread Reavers. No friendly fire. Unlimited ammo. I think it's a shotgun, which sucks for us. Oh no, it's a handgun. Okay. Okay. Okay, so there are way better handguns, specifically the ones that allow you to lower enemies' melee damage, because those allow you to make Wendigos completely irrelevant, which is much more valuable than this group attack. On the other hand, I do place Cyrus, who has a handgun, in front of a bunch of enemies because of all the melee stuff, so having something that allows me to hit in a group is also good. So I'm definitely gonna give it to him. Do I think it's the best thing ever? Not really. But it's okay. What is this? Throw the flask onto a cell, remove any hazard. That's pretty cool. We're gonna give it, so Wesley here can do 2 pocket items, which is pretty fun. So we're gonna do it. Random unit plus 3 HP. Okay, can we get it to... Yes. Okay, we get it. Cyrus. Another survivor, and then we can go home to the base. Okay, we'll do that. Let's just get another survivor, and then we'll go to the base. Are we gonna get the coffins? No. Okay, so sometimes you get coffins, and when you get the coffins, basically anything that you push into the coffin, it allows you to win. So we need Cyrus as always, and we'll place Roy there. I hope the Roy will have a shot at the... Okay, so this one is the one who has like melee damage. I'm gonna stand that way. The melee damage does 3. No, the regular damage does 3 because 2 + 1 for hitting it. And the same thing for the knife. Wesley could do 1 damage here. And allow Buster to finish. The problem is, if Buster finishes, Buster doesn't have any more movement. So we definitely don't want Buster to finish. Okay, now I kinda wish I pushed him, but we're not gonna redo it. Okay, we could push a Wendigo into fire. That'd be handy. How does this attack look? Ooh, interesting. This is a really big attack. If I move myself forward, what would this attack look like now? 1 damage to everybody. To be fair, I can just kill this guy without... Yeah, let's do that. I'm trying to figure out if I can kill the one over there with the attack. Okay, yes. This way I can recharge my attack. And remember, it doesn't hit my people, so I don't have to worry about that. Great. Now, if I push this guy, I can do 3 damage. I'm not sure why this one was 3 and not 2, because I didn't push him into an obstacle. That was kind of interesting. Okay, I guess I can only... I have no way to move anymore, so I just... So, okay, so the gun is actually pretty good. Maybe I didn't appreciate it enough. Gun, not bad. I probably think for my style of game, the other gun is better. Especially because now the gun spiders are gonna kill Wesley. Unless... Yeah, I have no way to heal him. And I have a knife attack, but I can't get close enough, so we're just gonna have to take it. Still, I think we did pretty well. Yeah, okay, so Roy's down. So, but we were going back to the base anyway. Okay, so now I can deploy... Oh wait, I didn't put in Roy. That's fine. Okay. By Roy I mean Rudy. Can I shoot the one in the back? Yes. And then... I mean, we could kill it or we could run away. Let's run away just so I show you. Oh, I think we have to have them get them all there, so we're just not going to do that. Because I wasn't sure, because it says here, the survivor by leading. I guess by leading him implies that that's all of us. In every time in this game, I just did this. I just killed them all. I was like, I'm just gonna kill them. Alright, and I think we have to go back to the base. Now, we do have pretty much space in the nightmare thing, but we already lost one guy. And if we get a few gun spiders lost Roy, we might be in trouble. Now, this new guy, yeah, it's mostly melee, so it's not that interesting. I think let's go to the base. It's quiet here, too quiet. No pool, no whispers, just still air, open space. If there's a way down, this might be it. Alright. Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff. We've got our boots Did someone have the boots? We'll do these. So this is immunity to burning, which is, I guess, not that exciting. Now you can equip the people. If you're wondering why do we only have 3, so in our quarters we have the remainder of people, and if you equip them, you're gonna see like all of their abilities. They're currently all sort of unequipped, and you can look at their fears as well to see what kind of thing it attracts. So, for example, Hank here gives us the gun spiders, which is actually pretty bad for us with the people who are weak. So since we don't like Hank anyway, this might be a time to be like, okay, it might actually be better to get Wesley, who, okay, I didn't unequip Hank, but it doesn't matter. But like, because he also has a handgun, so we would lose the shotgun ability, which we didn't really care all that much about anyway. But now we would have a better result because we don't get the gun spiders, which are kind of like bad for us. But yeah, but we do get some other monsters which might be worth, like if you have someone who's afraid of the unicorns, which I think we had someone that is afraid of that as well. Yeah, that's pretty bad, but it's only Nightmare 2, so hopefully we can finish the enemies by then. And we have 27 things, so we can now upgrade our Mustang's boot that I promised I would do, so let's do that. And now we should get our bonus here. Few fixes in this old junk got a serious boost. Time to sort the stuff out and figure out what the hell is going on. We were brawling with beasts that, as far as we could tell, were drawn straight to man's deepest fears. Like they'd been hammered to get in the darkest corners of the soul just to come nothing. One poor foolhardy got kicked by a horse as a kid. Now he's staring down a darn two-legged unicorn with murder in its eyes. Cruel-twisted poetry. That, can't say exactly when, but we started calling them Dreamweavers. Name just stuck. Cool, quiet, and dead on true. Oh, Dreadweaver, sorry. The dog spun out some darn yarn about a weird substance, nightmare essence. That's the name he gave it. Well, you've got to start somewhere, so figure out we grab some of that stuff and see what was worth the fuss. To stack the odds in our favor, widen the search into the industrial district where the nightmare hadn't sunk its claws in too deep. Okay. And then basically, like, let me show you. Okay, you can get kidney beans or antidote. Kidney beans allow you to heal adjacent ally for 1, but they can't be down. They have to be still up. Or antidote allows us to cure from plague. We'll take the antidote because we've got the other thing already. And industrial district, you can see that the stakes there are a little bit higher, like normal versus low, so it's obviously going to be harder here. And yeah. And you can see that we already have some level even before we begin. So this is the problem, as you sort of move in, it's going to get like harder and harder to get there. Same here, it's already at some level. But I think this is actually a good time to end the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, write down in the comments, and you can click on the right towards some other games to play on this channel, like Hard West too. I'll see you there. Bye bye!